everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Okay, the time has come. So I've talked about this on several videos of binding all three of my journals together, my January, February, March, and at first I was going to do, let's see, that'd be quarterly. Yeah. So every, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yes. So three of them together, and I'll have 4 books. For some reason, when I first started it, I thought, oh, I only need 3 covers. And then I'm like, wait a minute, 3 covers, I'd have to put 4 in each. Okay, I could do it that way, but I wanted to stick with the 3. So I'm going to have to find another one that kind of looks like this because I already had 3 of them, and that's why the 3 stuck in my head. So these are going to be the 3 that I'm going to get together here, or I'm going to put into this journal. So when I first started putting this together, and I cut all my pieces because I didn't feel like the spine was good enough, I went through and did all this as if I was going to do a hidden spine. And I was like, oh my gosh, why did I do all that work? Because I didn't need to. I just needed to put this cardboard. So I had already got 4 of these done. And I thought, you know what? Let's just go a different route. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind them together. I'm going to poke these holes. I'm going to put eyelets in them, and then I'll bind my books that way. But first, we have to get the book together. So I'm going to flip this to the back side. And I have also done that this is the top, which I have another one that's exactly like this. So I may have to poke holes into the books because I did not think about that when I put them together. I should have never poked holes in them. But anyway, this is going to be the outside, and we're going to try to line this up so that we've got a little bit like about an 1/8 of an inch gap in here. So if I can get that done. Now, I know a lot of people are using fabric tape, which is great. I don't have any. So I'm using carpet tape. I got this idea from Gail Agostinelli, and she actually, she doesn't use it anymore, but she did it in a video, and I thought, that's brilliant. I'm going to get some carpet tape. So I'm going to just try to do this. I will tell you, it is super, super sticky. And I am going to try to cut exactly what I need to bind those 2 together. So what do I have here? You will definitely need to clean your scissors. And in fact, I'm not going to use my good ones. I'm going to grab out, it's about 8.5. I'm going to grab out my scissors. I don't care if they get sticky. I'll wash them. Goo Gone. I'll do some Goo Gone. And I'm literally going to try to cut this exact. So I'm going to try to cut this at 8.5. And I can't set it on anything because it literally will stick to everything. I'll even have a hard time getting it off my fingers. But if you look closely, you can see the threads in there, and I can kind of gauge where that's at. But this is what I'm talking about. It's sticky. All right. So see these threads? So you can kind of see where you're cutting. All right, I'm going to try to line these back up again where I need them. And let's see. All right. And then I just hope for the best. Oh, I didn't cut that long enough. That's okay. I'll add another piece. Because you want it to be exact. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I kind of don't have a choice. Well, I guess I do. right, I'm going to do another piece. And then I'm going to do 8.5. So it's going to be right on that little thread right there. I'm sure the fabric tape is easier to work with, which I do hope to invest in some, but I'm going to use this up too. Of course, I could always give it to my husband. I have a funny little story about this carpet tape as well. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's get that back in line. And then I have it close enough. It's like about 1/8 of an inch. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sort of eyeball that and lay it. Because once it's down, it's down. I didn't really want it laying over the hole, so I'll have to be a little more cautious about that in the next one, because you want it to have some bendability. I'm not worried about the center right now. I'm just worried about getting the cover together. And I can go back and trim these off. I think an X-Acto knife, I'll take that and do that, because I think that would work better. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I don't think my scissors are going to cut because they're goopy already. Like, don't do that at home, because you know, it's not, you shouldn't be like doing, like, you know, using your hands to finagle your scissors. But you know, I think all of us crafters kind of don't learn our lesson until we cut ourselves a few times, and they're like, yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. All right, so I'm gonna try to lay that at the end of my thing here, and I'm going 8.5 so I can see that little mark right there. That is where I'm going to cut. And this is so strong with all these fibers. I mean, it holds your carpet down, the edges of it. That's, you know, it's strong enough to do that. You know, obviously they nail it too, but it will stay. It will not go anywhere. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this on this side a little bit more, because all this gets covered up anyway, and I don't want to cover the holes. They will be harder to punch through now, but I will do it. Okay. So now we have that one. All right, so I have a little bit missing up here, but I'm not worried about it. It'll be covered with paper. So I'm going to leave them alone right now. I'm not going to do anything with them. Wait a minute, this is my inside. Yeah, this is my inside. So I'm going to not worry about... Oh, wait, would I do it wrong? Oh, gosh, I'm batting 1,000. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I still know my top is at my top. It's not a big deal. Oh, I did this whole thing the wrong way. Oh, good gravy. See if I can peel that off before it's too late. Oh, I don't think it's stuck down yet. Oh, boy. But see these fibers? They are going to hold that book just as if... Yeah, I got to get that whole thing off there. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Well, live and learn. I thought that looked awfully funny. All right, turn this back over. I'm doing the inside. I'm going to go ahead and tack that down right now. And let's just start that over. So I'm not going to cut this out of the process, because I want anyone who watches this to know we all make mistakes. Right? We all make mistakes, and there's ways to fix it and redo it. So yeah, don't give up on your project. All right, so that one is right where my thumb is at. And sometimes in between this, I will go clean off my scissors, just so I can get through the carpet tape again, because it will get to the point where I can't cut it. Okay, then we'll just stay there then. All right, let's try to do this again. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it just on the other side of those holes. There we go. Well, that looks right. The whole time someone's probably out there going, you're putting it in the wrong spot. You're putting it, you turn your cover over. Funny, funny. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do the same thing on this side and reinforce, but I will not take this other, because it's sticky on both sides. So I won't take that off until I'm ready to put my spine in and then add my papers. So that's just going to stay put. I'm going to trim these up. I'll do this side and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have everything taped inside and out. These are all going to be covered anyway. So what I decided was I'm just going to put cardstock paper. It's a little bit heavier weight cardstock. And I'm going to put that in my center for my spine, because then there's going to be another piece that, you know, kind of covers up from here. I'll just go over what's existing there, and then I'll sort of do the same thing on the outside. I'm still working kind of that out in my head. So first of all, I'm going to peel the tape, and then I'm going to glue, but I'm not going to glue over the holes. I'm just going to glue all around them. And I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. It works great for fabric and it works great for this. So first I'm going to go ahead and peel that tape off, or peel that backing of that carpet tape. And you know, and if it doesn't work out, or you just won't see this video. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and just throw some glue in between. And then some of it may spurt over into the holes, but I'm not worried. Listen, if it does, and I don't end up putting the eyelets in, I have to do something different, I'll just cover them all up completely, and I'll just do something different. I'll just put a different, like a thinner piece of cardboard on the other side, and then I'll do a hidden spine if it comes down to that. All right, so I'm going to try to get that straight. I want to get it right to the edge, because like I said, once it's stuck with that carpet glue, it's stuck. You have time with the Fabri-Tac, but you don't have time with that carpet tape. Now there's a little bit on the edges that probably aren't sticking down. Where's my little, but I'll go back. It's fine. I'll go back and lift. I don't really need to. It looks like it's pretty good. I can always glue that, but since there's going to be paper over top of here, I'm not worried about it. So at this point that I got that down pretty darn good, and I'm going to start working the seam so I can bring that back in. You don't have to be crazy about that. Just be gentle, because the paper has to sort of, it's fiber, so it's getting trained to, you know, go the way you want it to go. That's why you don't put creases in it beforehand, because you'll never get it where it needs to be. So just keep working that in until it becomes flexible. Okay. And I can see I'm leaving marks from my bone folder, so I don't want to do that. Where's my clear ruler? Sometimes I use my Tim Holtz ruler, not the sharp edge. I use the dull edge, because you don't want to poke through there. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna work it a little bit more. I mean, the book's never gonna lay like this or lay like this, because there's gonna be signatures in there, so it doesn't have to be crazy. But I do have flexibility, so I will be able to open it up, look at my signatures. Fun. Okay, now I have to do the other side. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and poke them holes. And I think I'm just gonna use it all and just sort of get my mark where those are supposed to be. Otherwise, I have to get out my big, I don't even know what it's called, but it reaches further to put your marks in there for your eyelets. But I think I can do it this way and it's going to be just fine. Yeah. And once the eyelets are in there, you're not going to see any messy on the back. But this is almost just perfect. Yeah, so I don't have to go through that. But I'm going to do that so when I get to putting this one on, I can see it from the other side and do the same thing. Okay, so you can see here I put a T up here, so I know this is the top. This is the top of my book. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that over, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take that tape off. Oh, and I did end up adding another tiny little piece to the top here. I think I'm in shot. And then grab this one. Okay, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac again. I usually would use the art glitter glue, but this is flexible. I think it stays more flexible than the art glitter glue. Now they say they make fabric art glitter glue. I don't use a lot of fabric, so I don't have to worry about it, but I'm curious as to how that works, because you know when you're using stuff with fabric, you want your book to be flexible a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and again I'm just going to eyeball it and line that up at the bottom. And yep, I got it where I want it. All right, now I do have some little messies at the top here, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that one. See, if I had the black fabric tape, I could just outline it all. And I could have actually made these longer and folded it in, which is probably what I should have done. So I don't know, I might just put a border. Maybe I'll put some type of a little bias tape or something. I don't know, I'll figure that out later. I'm not too concerned about it, but I do want to clean it up. I mean, it's just for me. If I was going to sell this, I definitely would take extra time and really make sure it was sharp and clean. But this is just something I'm keeping. So again, I'm just going to start to bend, and it doesn't have to be crazy. I'm just going to start to work the paper. You know, and just, even if you have to just leave it sit there, like just leave it sit at this point and let that paper get used to where it's at. Let it sit, walk away and come back. But I'm just being really gentle in my fold, so I'm not ripping or tearing. And even if that seam tore a little bit, again, you can come back with a fabric piece or something. There's always a way to fix it. At least I have found so far. I was so intimidated when I first started doing this, because I was like, oh, what if I mess it up? And I went to all that work, and, you know, and now I don't know how to fix it. And, well, you know, you watch enough people and they teach you how, and then sometimes you just come up with something on your own. And you're like, yeah, I think I can do that. All right, so I'm going to keep working that. And I'm going to get my holes poked back in there. And get I'm going to need my bigger machine for the eyelets, so I have to do that. But yeah, I'm just going to keep working that, but it looks nice. I like it. I really wished I would have done this and folded it over, though. I don't know why I didn't do that. Why didn't you do that, Laura? You should have done that. Wasn't thinking, just trying to get it done. But anyway, we'll fix it. Okay, so what I decided to do, I couldn't fix the top. So what I did was I laid a whole new piece over top of the back. And then what I'm going to do is then I will glue these down. And then this will be covered anyway. But here's what I remembered in the process. It's been a while since I've done one of these. What I should have done originally was made my back longer and then curled it over to the top, over this way. Then I should have put my strips of carpet tape on for the inside and laid my inside piece down. I wouldn't have had this right here. Like, I'm not going to worry about this in the spine. Obviously, the book is for me, so I don't care. But yes, what I should have done originally was put this part first, folded it over, then put the smoother piece in there. But I salvaged it, and I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to do it the right way. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so I continued on, and I've done some eyelets. Now, this is the first time I've ever done eyelets, and you can see that they're all wonky. So I need some practice. Actually, this is the only one I really got out of place. All the other ones look pretty good, but this is what I was trying to say before, was the crocodile too, because this one you can get the arm in to make your punches, and because I had to do a bigger punch to I don't know why I had to do a bigger punch. Oh, because my little ones wouldn't go through to the other side. That's what it was. They weren't long enough. The shank on them wasn't long enough. So I'll keep that in mind for the next book. But this is what I used, and so I'm not too unhappy. And so now what I'm going to do is, I've forgotten, I probably said this in another video, I actually got lucky and all of these are lined up where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the signatures in. Now this thread that I used here, I think I'm going to switch that out for a heavier thread, or I might double or triple it. So I'm going to get my signatures in, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover my pieces. So I know that this is the top. I don't want to cover it yet until I get my signatures. So I know I would probably flip it over, because that's just the way this project's been going. So we're going to do that, but I learned a lot for the next time around. So I'll come back after that. Okay. That was a lot of work, and I realized a lot of things I'm going to do different on the next one, but I did complete it, and I have my signatures in. And when I did this book and wanted this as a closure, I didn't count for the fact that it was going in another book, but still I was like, okay, I still got it in there, so that's fine. And I just had to sew this one in too. So but then I decided now I'm going to cover those fronts and the back, and I decided just to go with a straight black. If I want to put something different on later, I can. So I'm going to do that on each side, and then I'm going to do a panel. I don't know what yet, that's going to go on the front, and I may do a panel that I can glue over top of this. Because I didn't really care for it, but I wanted to try it. I wanted to try something else. I think if I'd have got them straight, I would, but I just don't want that wonky. I don't know. It's just mine, so I don't know why I'm so about it, but anyway, I may cover that up. Yeah, so I'm going to get that done. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to do a flip through. Okay, I didn't film a lot because after 3 hours of struggle with the signatures, I was like, okay, I just need to get through this. Amanda's done how to do signatures too, so you can always go there, and I've done them as well, how to sew your signatures in. But anyway, so once I got the whole thing done, I was looking at it and I was like, what am I going to do with that cover? You know, like I wanted something that represented the 3 months that were going to go in there. So I took more of each of the papers that represented the months that were in there. And I thought, I'm just going to lay them out. I don't even know what kind of a collage you call this, but I let the black paper do the work for me to make the black border. And then I have a stamp that is a calendar stamp that has the January, February, March. And the reason I did that, well, at first I started looking for where it says March monthly, or, you know, January monthly, but I didn't want it to say monthly. I just wanted it to say January, February, March, and I could not find them. I'm like, I'm not going to print out a whole sheet to get more of these. So I thought I'll just get these stamps out, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I really like how the black border makes them pop. But then I'll say, what do we do with the back? Okay, so I just kept with the same theme. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and use that same paper. Let the black paper in the back do the work. I covered up a lot of my mistakes that I made. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do with the spine? Because I did not care for the spine. So I thought, well, let's just take a black piece of paper and do the same thing. I took a black piece of paper that was a little bit shorter. I let it do the work for me. I think these were like a 1/2 inch each, and I absolutely adore this. Okay, so then I just used some clips and a chain. They both come off either end to keep it together. That way, if I ever do want to change the closure or do something else, you know, I can still do that and take that apart and use it somewhere else. So I didn't do anything with the inside cover yet. I'm not sure I'm going to, because I just love it the way it is. So here was my January. Now we did December, but I won't be doing that until in the fall, in November, when I get, well, probably in December when we get October and November, and then I'll add my other kits. But I do have flip throughs. I'm going to add each of the ones I already did, the final flip throughs, in the description, so you can go through that, because I'm not going to go through each one of them. So here's the January, and then here's the beautiful February, and then here is the March. And this was a little bit tricky and challenging, because when I made the journal, I'm like, oh, I'm tired of doing the same thing. I want to do a different closure. So I had to basically sew this back in, or sew it together with the rest of the book. But I left the little tie on there because I still liked it. I thought it was cute with the lace and everything. So I'm not going to go through that one. But yeah, I left that. If I ever wanted to take it apart and use it as a standalone, then I can do that. So I absolutely love it. Now I'm going to model each of the quarterly books after this one. So you can see a little bit where I've just had to, you know, I made a little bit of some mistakes, which I talked about. And my next one that I put together, I think I'll do that one on camera, and then I'm going to do it correctly. Because I realized that if I had done it the right way the first time, I wouldn't have had to make all these little adjustments and changes. But yeah, I love it, and I've got 4 more to put together to get ready for the other journals, and I hope you love it too. It was fun to do, and well, it was frustrating to do, but I powered through it. So just power through it. Don't stop. Keep going. You know, at some points you get upset and you're like, I'm just going to throw the whole thing away. Don't do it. Just keep powering through. Watch lots of videos and figure it out. And then you end up with something so cool. I really love it. So anyway, quit my rambling and let you go. But thanks for taking a look. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.